Okay, let's unpack this. Our deep dive today tackles a thought I think many of us have had, right? Especially when you feel like you're hitting a wall.
Yeah.
That feeling of, it's not my fault. I just don't have the genetics.
You hear that a lot.
You do. You know the scene you see that person in the gym who looks almost, well, effortlessly sculpted by the gods,
Yeah.
barely breaking a sweat.
Right.
And then there's the other person maybe grinding for years and it feels like, minimal visible change. It's so easy to just jump to genetics or
It's
everything.
a common conclusion, yeah.
But our source for this deep dive, genetics and grit, building muscle beyond excuses, really challenges this idea powerfully.
It does.
It argues that blaming your genes is often, well, an evasion, like a convenient excuse to sidestep asking yourself, am I really doing everything I can?
Or maybe it's just, a story you tell yourself to avoid the real hard work, the grind.
Exactly. But what's interesting, you pointed this out earlier, is that the source doesn't just dismiss genetics entirely.
No, absolutely not. That would be unrealistic. It fully acknowledges that, yes, some individuals do have natural advantages.
Like what specifically?
Well, things like maybe a higher baseline testosterone level, that's a big one for muscle growth. Or what people call better muscle insertion points.
Okay, explain that a bit. Muscle insertion points.
It's basically how your muscles attach to your bones. It can affect leverage, how full a muscle looks. These are real biological differences. Fact.
Right, so the advantages are real.
They are real, but here's the pivot the source makes, and I think it's crucial. What are you going to do with that information? Is knowing that going to be like a crutch for you, a reason to just quit or ease off?
The alternative.
Or is it going to be the fire that fuels your ambition, the thing that makes you double down on mastering everything you can actually control?
That's a powerful shift in perspective, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if genetics are just a variable,
Right.
just one factor, and not the whole story,
Which is what the source argues, yeah.
how does that change our whole approach? I mean, to fitness, to building muscle, it sounds like it shifts the focus completely.
It does, precisely. The source argues this reframing is absolutely key. When you see genetics as just one variable among many,
Okay.
it forces you, almost compels you, to become incredibly meticulous about all the other variables, the ones that are in your control.
Like what? What are those controllable variables?
Well, for instance, the book talks a lot about progressive overload, consistently increasing the demand on your muscles.
Right, lifting heavier or doing more over time.
Exactly. And someone who feels they're genetically, let's say, disadvantaged often becomes almost obsessed with perfecting their form, tracking every rep, ensuring that consistent increase in weight or volume. They have to be detailed.
That makes total sense. If you feel like you're starting from behind, you'd naturally be way more disciplined about the details, wouldn't you?
You'd have to be.
Does the source give specific examples of how someone might overcome these perceived limits using those controllable things?
Oh, absolutely. It really breaks down what it calls intelligent effort. It's not just about working hard, but working smart.
Okay, intelligent effort. What does that look like?
So, for example, it emphasizes that for people who struggle to gain muscle, diet often becomes even more critical, hypercritical even.
More critical than for the genetically gifted person.
Potentially, yes. They might need to be incredibly focused on hitting protein goals, timing their nutrients, ensuring a consistent, slight caloric surplus maybe, things the other person might get away with being looser on.
Right, the person who seems to grow just by looking at a dumbbell.
Exactly. It also highlights consistency. Just showing up day after day, even when results feel incredibly slow. That's a huge differentiator.
So the person fighting for every result learns something else.
They learn discipline, they learn resilience, they learn true grit because they have to fight for every single pound of muscle, every bit of strength. It's earned.
And that's where the grit in genetics and grit really comes into play, isn't it?
That's the core of it.
It sounds like the book kind of flips the script on the usual story. It makes it sound like the person who does have those easy genetic gifts,
The guy with good genetics, yeah.
they often get complacent. Maybe take shortcuts.
Very often. They rely on those natural gifts, maybe don't focus on form, don't track meticulously. And eventually, you know what happens.
Their progress stalls.
Their progress stalls because they never learned the discipline of the grind. They never mastered those other crucial variables.
Wow. So, meanwhile, the person with the quote-unquote bad genetics.
The one who had to fight for it, track everything, analyze every workout.
They're building more than just muscle.
Exactly. They're forging something deeper, a stronger mind, a more resilient character. The source uses a great analogy. It's like the difference between someone who was given a kingdom and someone who had to build it from the ground up, brick by painful brick.
That's a powerful image.
And the book argues, pretty convincingly, I think, that the person with bad genetics, who puts in that consistent, intelligent work, they will eventually blow past the lazy person with good genetics.
Because discipline beats talent.
When talent doesn't work hard, it's an old saying, but it holds true here. In the long run, consistent effort wins.
So wrapping this up, what does this really mean for you listening right now, this whole deep dive? It suggests we stop looking at genetics as this, like, insurmountable wall or just a convenient excuse.
Yeah, stop seeing it as destiny.
And start talking about it as just a variable.
Right.
It's one piece of the puzzle, a significant piece maybe, for some.
But not the whole damn picture.
Not the whole picture.
Mm-hmm.
The message seems pretty clear. Your genes might influence your starting point, maybe the exact path you take.
But they absolutely don't dictate your destination.
Which leaves you with a really important question to think about, doesn't it? Are you going to be a victim of your genetics, or are you going to be the master of your own destiny? Are you ready to apply that intelligent effort, that grit, and build your own kingdom?